How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
Good.
Thanks very much for coming.
Thank you for asking.
You seem to be in a good mood. I was. Oh, yes, go ahead.
No.
Huh?
Your show.
Yes. Okay. Well, I forgot. All right. You know, I was a little. I won't. You know how to start. I have so many things to ask you, but I want to clear the air first. I heard that you had heard somewhere. Was a little angry with me because you heard somewhere that I don't like Irish food. Is that the case?
Did I?
That's what I heard.
Well.
Whoa.
No. Well.
I know you had a tendency to get tipsy, but.
Speaking of tipsy. But don't you like Irish food?
Well, you know what? I was misunderstood. I said somewhere, and then I apparently had got around in Ireland that I don't like Irish food. It's just that I said somewhere they're not known for their cuisine, you know? They're known for, like, throwing a potato on your plate and a piece of beef and saying, get to it, you know?
No. But see, the best Irish food is Guinness.
No argument there.
You had the wrong menu on the table. It said Guinness.
Guinness is 3 of the 4 Irish food groups, I understand.
It's the one. The only one. Do you know what they say that speaking of St. Valentine's Day, they say that Guinness is an aphrodisiac.
I have not found it to be so,
No,
but
I know
I'm
that.
happy that...
Well, the only thing that Guinness gets up is your hopes.
Now,
do you know who we met first?
Who? Yes, I met you. Well, how can I forget? I was invited to the White House.
That's it.
They had a party for the Prime Minister of Ireland.
That's it.
And they said, let's round up every Irish person we can find.
That's it.
They put away all the good furniture. They put out the paper plates with the presidential seal on it. And I bumped into you there. It was very exciting.
And I was amazed how tall you were. Do you remember?
No one knows that I'm. Yes, that's what I get.
So tall. I said, you're tall.
Yeah.
I remember trying to get the president, who I really admire. Your president, because he loves Ireland. Your president, I tried to get him to drink Guinness that night, you know.
Really?
Yeah, I said, come on, you must drink some, Mr. President, you must have some Guinness. Remember they had a table of Irish Guinness?
Oh, yeah, it was they had kegs in the White House for the first time.
Yeah.
It was
I swear to God.
The police came by at like 2 in the morning and shut us down. It was a good time.
It was great to see the First Lady and the President trying to learn the Irish jig. They were trying to teach them the jig.
Yeah, they were trying to. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was great.
The whole, and then the evening was over, and they cleared us all out of there.
Well, I don't know about that, man. I know you weren't allowed to smoke, so I used to sneak out on the balcony and sort of take a quick draft of cigarette, then get back in again. It was great. It was great. It was grand. I had a good night.
That's the best thing about the White House is there's a balcony to smoke on. Yeah, that's what you were calling. You know, I wanted to ask you because you do have, I alluded to it before, but you have a reputation, as do many of the great actors of your generation, of drinking some while you work or as you work, especially in the theater world. And I was curious, is that really true? Is there,
Wouldn't it be terrible for me to lie on your show and say it's not true?
Yeah.
I remember, I tell you a great story. Can I tell you a story?
Well, that's sort of what these shows are all about.
Oh, I see.
This dovetails nicely for us. Yeah, go ahead. Well, why a story? All right.
There was the 2 guys who there were 3 of us, legends for drinking, okay, and for having a rough, kind of a wild Rabelaisian life. One was Richard Burton,
of course,
Peter O'Toole, the great O'Toole, and Harris. And O'Toole and I did a play together down in Bristol Old Vic, which is a very famous theatre in England. And during the play, there's about 15 to 20 minutes when actually we're not on stage. So every single night, we'd come off stage together, dash across the street, duck the taxis into the bar, and we'd be throwing back beers, watching the time, making sure we got back on time for our cue, right? Well, one night, we got so engrossed in telling stories that we forgot that we were on stage. And the next minute, the door burst open, and the stage manager came rushing on and said, "Harris, O'Toole, for God's sake, you're on! You're on! There's a full house waiting for you. The play has stopped dead. Come on!" We dropped our drink quickly down our throat, rushed across the street.
Mustn't waste it.
No. So we dashed across the street. We were ducking taxis, ducking this and that. I dashed in. I had to make my entrance just before him. As I hit the stage door over the tannoy, I heard my cue. I thought I'll never make it. Dashed up the stairs, dashed across. Pause on stage. Harris is not on. O'Toole is not on. I just dashed on, tripped over a wire, slid right across the stage, right down to the footlights, and hung over onto the lap of 2 or 3 sort of Bristolian old women. And O'Toole was to come on next, and this woman looked at me in shock as my sort of head was in her lap. And she said out loud, "Good God, Harris is drunk!" And I looked at her and I said, "Madam, if you think I'm drunk, wait till O'Toole makes his entrance." I love it. I love it. I love it.
That was, you know, it's funny because you mentioned Peter O'Toole, but you know, in the last couple of years, it's become more, I think, more chic, probably in the last 10, 15 years, and correct me if I'm wrong, more chic, actually, probably to be Irish. Oh. There was a time, probably when you were starting out, I'm thinking in the 50s, when being an Irish actor trying to make a living in England was very difficult.
It was very rough. I think I was the first Irish-born actor to play leading roles and to get Academy Award nominations, and I was the very, very first. And when I got to England first, though, it really was tough. You were cast as a policeman or as a navvy on a street or you know, a labourer. You could not get a decent job. And I remember a story that I was doing in my first year out of school, drama school. I was playing in Macbeth, and I was playing a small part in Macbeth of the doctor. This snobby, sophisticated, racist English actor was playing Macbeth. And he had to have a whipping boy, and it was Harris because he was Irish. "Oh, God's sake, Harris, can't you learn to speak the English language correctly? Don't you know you don't pronounce it like that? Oh, for God's sake, can't you stand with the right mark?" Oh, God, I thought I hated this man. I said, "I swear to Christ, I'll get you one day." So now, you must remember I'm playing the doctor. Came the opening night, packed house, Harris is playing the doctor, and the most important scene in Macbeth is when Lady Macbeth commits suicide. And I, as the doctor, have to come on stage for my tiny little part, my only little entrance, and I have to say, and Macbeth turns and he says, "How goes the Queen?" And I have to say, "The Queen, my lord, is dead." And then he stops and he says, "She should have died hereafter." Now it leads into the greatest soliloquy from Macbeth, which is, "Tomorrow, tomorrow, and tomorrow creeps without petty pace from day to day to the last syllable of recorded time." That's his cue. I give him the cue. And I thought, I'll get him. I hate him. Harris, the Queen dies. Harris comes on stage. The actor says, "How goes the Queen?" And I said, "She's fine." She's great. She's great. She's terrific. She'll be right down now in a second in a night dress. She is terrific, I said. And I stand up, I said, "She's terrific, she's grand," and I know I'm fired. "She's great, and she'll be right down now any minute, and you'll get on great together." And I got off the stage quick, and the last thing you heard me say going out the stage door was, "Taxi!" You knew I was fired. Fired.
You didn't call back after that point. Oh my God! All right. How much time do we have here, Jeff? Oh, great. Because I do not want this to stop.
I'll come back.
Will you come back sometime?
Sure.
Please do come back.
Sure.
I'm curious. I did want to mention. It is Valentine's Day, and you have a reputation for you know, the many loves in your life. You've been married how many times?
Twice.
You've been married twice.
Twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you've had romance difficult for you?
No, they threw me out. I mean, I must tell you, I am the closest friends of my 2 ex-wives. They were totally justified throwing me out. I mean, I was impossible. Totally impossible. Never there, never here, never home, always away somewhere. I'll tell you a funny story, actually. My first wife...
I don't think you can miss
okay,
at this point.
My first wife was divorcing me, right? And she had this sort of very shrewd lawyer. And my first wife is a sweetheart, and she's a sweetheart. Today she's my best mate. But her lawyer never told her, but he hired a private detective to follow me around London to build up a kind of case against me. There was no need to build a case against me. Just open the newspapers, and there was cases against me.
Just say, it's Richard Harris.
There it is. That was a justifiable divorce on her part. So I was tipped off that this guy was following me, and he was watching every move I made. And I found out his name, and I found out his home number, and I kept it in my pocket. Well, about a month afterwards, I was in the Dorchester Hotel in London, and I was really drunk. I drank about a bottle of vodka, no, a brandy it was actually, right? And it was about 3 o'clock in the morning, and I thought, I'll have some fun. So I get his card out of my pocket, and I ring him up to his home. And a very tired voice said, hello. And I said, are you Mr. So-and-so, the private detective? He says, yes, I am. Well, this is Richard Harris. You can hear the, because he didn't know, he didn't think I knew. I said, well, I gotta tell you something. I said, I am pissed drunk. I don't know where I am. Could you please tell me where I am?
Put him to some use. If nothing else, put him to some use. Oh, boy. I hope, I gotta mention this, The Hunchback is, so that everyone should watch this, The Hunchback is on TNT this Sunday at 8 o'clock p.m. And I really do hope you come back. This is the most fun we have on this show. Thank you very much for doing it.
Thank you.
Richard Harris, everybody.